like a question. One of the questions is like, how would you describe yourself in a few words? Like, I don't know, like how would you describe yourself?
A short person with not too big a brain. No. I would describe myself as being a person that sets goals and tries to go after them like I did when I built the house. Okay, that's the end of that question.
Yeah, one sec. Let's see. Would you say that you are like happy with I don't know, the person you are today?
Would I say what, dear?
Would you say that you're happy with like the person you are today, or is there anything that you would like change about yourself, I guess, if you could?
Yeah, I'm not that happy with myself. I would like to be about 30 to 40 years younger. Okay, and then I could be able to do the work that I could 30 and 40 years ago. That's the truth.
Yeah. Other than that, are you happy with yourself? If you were younger, you'd be happy?
No, if I was younger, I would be able to do the things like I was doing all through life.
Yeah.
I worked in the mill, and then when I got out of work from there, I got a sandwich. I worked on the house. I did the same thing after I got it built. I worked in the mill. I got out. I turned around. And I worked around the house, finishing up this, doing that, finishing up the cellar, putting up paneling in the cellar. You know, I spent most of my life working.
Yeah. And now you're not able to do quite as much as you liked, huh?
Well, after I had the seizure and everything else and so on, I don't have the ambition to put forth the effort and do the work that I used to do, and I maintain it on account of being old. Old age really isn't what it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
I've got it figured out. They call them the golden years. And the reason they call them the golden years is because gold is heavy. Heavy metal. They're tough for the old person to carry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of that one.
Yep. What do you consider to be like your biggest achievement in life? If you have like a couple, that's fine too. But
I don't quite get the reasoning on that one.
like your biggest achievement, like, I don't know. I guess what you're most proud of having done, I guess, in your life so far.
The biggest achievement, as you already heard earlier in your interview, was going in the service, was getting a job to be able to pay the rent and take care of and feed and clothe the children, and being in the service. It was a service and a job and building a house for my family to live in.
Okay.
Okay, that's the end of that one.
What would you say that maybe your biggest struggle or obstacle in life was, and how would you say you maybe overcame it?
I would say that not being a trained person to go higher, that I didn't achieve the goals because of not having that much money. The drain was just being able to keep going, you know what I'm saying, and pay the bills.
Yeah.
I was very much with my wife's assistance and so on to pay the bills and pay them on time. And it was one of the things that it went. And then when you had some extra money, well, then you could go and do something. And there wasn't always a lot of money left.
Yeah.
After you pay the bills. You're probably finding that out yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of things I have to pay for quite yet, because, like, I mean, I don't have a car and stuff, but obviously all that stuff takes money, so.
Yes, they do. It all takes money.
So what you're saying is your biggest struggle was, I don't know, trying to, I guess, keep going and do a lot of stuff for yourself, even though you weren't trained, maybe, for, I don't know.
Maybe if I'd taken a different class in life, I would have achieved things, more educated and so on, maybe that would have made a difference.
Oh, okay.
But
I
as
see.
it is, I didn't, so I'm stuck with what I did.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep. Let's see. I think I know the answer to this, but are there any events that you think made you who you are today? I mean, other than maybe the military or.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like any major milestone things that happened, maybe other than the military, that you think made you who you are.
Oh yeah, my perseverance in trying to achieve and being a sergeant and trying to achieve the goals and stuff like that. The training involved, helped me in life to turn around and go forth and stick to the project, see it through,
Mhm.
and not give up just because things weren't always going right.
Okay. Do you think there's anything outside of the military, like that you said that would have shaped you, like who you are today, beyond the military, or would you say maybe just the military?
No, it wasn't just the military. It was my parents, my mother, my father, our parent relationship with my brothers. We did the best we could with what we had.
Mhm.
And we weren't really poor, but we never went hungry. But we had depression years. I lived during that first depression.
Mhm.
With my parents and what they went through. And my dad, when they didn't have work in the foundry, he worked on the WPA, which was a federal program put in highways.
Mhm.
And he said he didn't mind a handout from the government to help him,
Yeah.
but he didn't want a hand. He wanted a hand up, and not a handout.
Yeah.
And today in our society, we got a lot of people that just wants people to give them the stuff so they can sit on their rear ends and collect money
Mhm.
without working for it.
Yeah. Would you think that anything like, I don't know, having kids or anything would have been something that made you who you are today? Like, Aunt Michelle, Mom, Uncle Doug, that type of thing?
Well, I think really the only thing I can say, and I'm very prejudiced, your grandmother will tell you, our government has gone to hell in a handbasket, Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
Here they're going to turn around and give Iran, who is fighting against us,
Mhm.
$500 million
Yeah.
to help their country. Why don't they take that money and help our country?
Yeah. That is pretty screwed up. Yeah.
That money came from taxpayers
Hmm.
who were working, and we haven't had a raise in our Social Security for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, they instead of giving it away to some other country. When I was collecting stamps, there were only about 35 or 40 countries in the world,
Hmm.
and now there's 146.
Yeah.
Everybody got a name. They named their country, and then they stuck their hand out to Uncle Sam in America. Oh, you people rich, give me money.
Hmm.
And we being suckers, we did. And we're still doing it.
Yeah.
And when we're in trouble with hurricanes or earthquakes or anything else that goes wrong with having problems, you don't see any of them sending you $1.50 to help.
Hmm.
Not even millions. They don't send you any help.
Yeah.
So they don't appreciate it.
Hmm.
The only thing they appreciate is you're not going to give them more.
Yeah. The whole thing seems pretty messed up.
Oh, that ought to cover about most of it, really.
Well, I was asking, do you think that like having kids was like an event that made you who you are today? Like, Aunt Michelle and my mom and Uncle Doug. Do you think that's something that you would say made you who you are?
Well, I think our children were raised, as your mother and Michelle and Doug with certain values and restrictions and so on and so forth. And we're very, very proud of them.
Yeah.
And they've done very well, and they've had crises in their life.
Mhm.
And they've done things that have helped. And, well, just like Uncle Doug, he drove us back and forth,
Mhm.
to go south over the winter.
Yeah.
And then when he couldn't do it last year, he drove us down.
Mhm.
And then your mother, we bought her a ticket for her to fly down,
Yep. And then she drive you home, right?
and then she drove us back.
Yep.
So I mean, they were there for us as we have been for them. So
Mhm.
that I'm very proud of the way we raised our family.
Yeah. What would you say helped you get through the toughest times in life, like your friends, your family, anything like that, or yourself?
Well, I don't know. I think now you're getting into personal things about feelings about friends and someone. I had friends that helped me. Friends that I roller skated with was guy was a mason, and he was able to work for a contractor and lay cement blocks. And I mixed the mortar and stuff and handed him the blocks. And he laid the blocks for the cellar for me.
Mhm.
I mean, friends of mine came through for me, and then when he bought a place and he needed a washer and dryer hooked up and so on and so forth,
Yeah.
and the electrical, it was an older house.
Mhm.
I went to his place, and I found out what we needed in order to do the job, and then I went to his house.
Yeah.
He helped me, and I turned around and did the wiring for him.
Mhm.
So one hand washes the other, and getting help from somebody and then returning it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So then your friends helped out a lot then.
is Mitch on the phone somewhere?
What?
Is Mitch on the phone on your phone?
Oh no, he's not even here right now. He's at class. Is there some weird noise or something?
Oh, I keep hearing a voice that some intermediates keeps coming in and out.
Oh, that's really weird. I mean, my phone, like I said, it's been having some problems lately. But Mitch isn't even here. Like he's taking some classes right now, so I'm not sure what's going on with my phone. It's weird.
No, well, I think maybe you ought to have enough to be able to satisfy your teacher at school.
Well, she said that I'd ask more, like, I don't know, about you questions. You don't want to answer them?
Well, there's no more about me. All it is, I was a working person, and I worked at the mill, and then I worked after the mill in order to achieve goals.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole thing in a nutshell.
Well, like, one of the questions was, like, do you have any regrets? Or, like, if you could go back knowing what you know now, would you do anything different?
No, I don't. I did the best I could with what I had,
Yeah.
and I have no regrets.
And,
Okay?
yeah.
And we ought to put that at the end.
I can ask you a couple more questions, or no? I don't know. I mean,
I think you've asked enough questions to turn around and make a profile of my life, both military and family and so on and so forth, and raising and bringing up our children.
well, yeah. What I was saying is that she was requiring that I asked you, like, specific questions, like, I don't know, like, about your life, like what do you love about your life most right now, and what, like, looking back, like, I don't know, things like that, like, you know, stuff that I didn't ask you yet, so I'm kind of not sure.
Well, as I say, I try to call my life and do the things that I thought were appropriate. And sometimes I was right, sometimes I was wrong.
Yeah.
You're not always perfect, and you're not always right or wrong. Sometimes it's a little
Yeah.
interpretation. So that's all I can say on that.
Mhm.
You try to do the end results is you make an answer to whatever problem you have,
Mm-hmm.
and you try to do what you feel is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you can do.
Right.
When even if you think it out,
Yep.
and don't make a snap judgment. Sometimes you make it right, sometimes you don't.
Yep. That makes sense. So what would you say, is there anything that stands out that you, I don't know, love most about your life right now? Like, I don't know, anything in it, like, being retired, I don't know, anything? Would you say, or no?
All I can say is, and that's rehashing some of the things we've already talked about, is that as you get older, you can't do what you did when you were 30.
Right.
And when you're 80, you sure as hell can't do what you did when you were 30.
Yep.
And those are the only things that stick in my mind.
Okay. But so, like, probably one of the things that you like about your life, like you were saying, is the fact that you can be, like, you're proud of, like, Aunt Michelle and Uncle Doug and my mom and stuff, you know, like that you raised them well, and then they were able to do that, like, you know, drive you to South Carolina and stuff like that, right? Probably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were there for them, as much as we could be. None of them ever went hungry. They had a place to sleep, and it was all normally comfortable. We started out in an apartment, and then we had a home,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up here, and we nourished them. They had dogs, and they just had a home life.
Yep.
And we tried to provide for them the best we could.
Mm-hmm. Would you say, I know that you said you worked at GE and you did a lot of other, you know, odd jobs. Do you think that you did anything really, like, interesting or important at work, or not really?
Oh, I did many things that I've been proud of with the GE. Like, I worked on Telstar, which are the 3 satellites around the world.
Oh, yeah?
I made the batteries for them,
Oh.
and they're still working.
Oh, that's cool.
I did some certain things that I was in some of the suggestion programs and stuff over the years.
Mm-hmm.
GE, if you turn in a suggestion and so on, and your sketches and write it up, if it's something they can use, they pay you for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I collected a lot of them. Like they were going to shut down because some of the girls on the lines that were working on the capacitors were getting their fingers pinched
Yeah.
by the pointed electrodes and so on. And the federal government has that OSHIP.
Mm-hmm.
It goes around and inspects all things. And they told them they had to rectify the problem.
Yeah.
And the engineers were coming up with something, and it was very expensive, and it was all this and that thing. I come up with a fairly simple idea of how to use Tygon tubing to cover the electrodes around to the bottom, so that when they stepped under the thing to initiate the electrodes coming down, they pushed their finger away.
Oh, that's cool.
So it didn't penetrate their finger.
Hmm.
And I accepted it. Said worked fine.
Yeah. So
And I
they,
got paid for it.
and they paid you for it, yeah? Oh. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there were some that were like safety suggestions about doing things. When I worked as the rescue squad and stuff in the mill,
Mm-hmm.
I took courses, and I've used some of the stuff over the years,
Yeah.
like the Heineck.
Okay.
When we were down in one place in Florida, the guy choked. He was in the group,
Yeah.
and I used a Heimlich and got it out of his throat and expired it in the sink. Did it so he could breathe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was able to use what they taught, and when I worked in the electrical, they gave things, as well as when I was in the service, they turned around and taught us how to help a fellow, a soldier if he was wounded,
Oh,
how to
okay.
bandage it, how to compress it, so that you could stop his blood loss and so he wouldn't die.
Mhm.
Or if they had an electrical shock, what to do,
Yeah.
so you could keep him alive. So
So you learned.
each thing in life is a learning experience.
Yeah. So you did get to do like I don't know a lot of different interesting things over time. It sounds like the different jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every job has something different. And when I worked logging on the river,
Mhm.
I noticed that all the sawmills that we went by while we were doing that, we were pushing it out into the current to get it down to the paper mill, fish
Mhm.
grinds.
Yeah.
I noticed these guys that all worked in the old sawmills. Here they were 60, 70 years old and all had a good head of hair. No, that's not funny. If you've got an inquisitive mind, you look out and say, how come all these guys have got a good head of hair? There
Yeah.
was some working in the sawmills. The sawdust that was flying in the air contained turpentine, pine pitch,
Yeah.
and all different things like that that stimulated their scalp
Yeah.
and allowed their hair to grow.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Guess you should have gone there, huh? Maybe you would have had hair forever, huh?
Yeah.
um, let's
I
see.
thought about it. I even took and I collected the pine pitch off the pine trees that we have over here, and collected them on plastic, and I added a little alcohol to it to dilute it so it wasn't a sticky gummy thing,
Yeah.
to see if it would. But it didn't work for me, so that wasn't the answer.
No.
Yeah, it's an experiment.
Yeah. So would you say that you've been successful in life? Like, would you classify yourself as being
I
successful?
did the best I could with what I had.
Okay. And then.
Okay?
Yep. And then.
And
Oh, sorry.
I think that's about the end of the...
Well, I really only had a
Okay.
couple. I only had a couple more. Like today I know people do
I got
like.
a couple more. Every time I say something like that, you say, I only got a couple more. And then a
Well, there's-
couple more.
Well, there's really
A couple more goes to 2,
There's-
4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
well, there's really only a couple more about places you like like where you traveled to and your favorite place that you traveled to, and then.
I learned when I traveled to different places and stuff when I was in the service and I was in Japan and Honshu and all the places. I met a lot of different people and I learned something from everybody that I ran into.
Yeah.
I always learned something.
What was your favorite place that you traveled to out of every place you've gone to?
I don't know. I've been to so many places there that
Oh, okay.
I just can't pick out a favorite.
Yeah, that's some.
I can only pick out by saying that God just made some beautiful countries across the world, and I've been even expounded on that when we went to the Grand Canyon. Like the kids used to say, awesome.
Mhm.
Well, it was awesome how big it was and how deep it was. And then when I saw the tall trees in Oregon and stuff, they were different than the Adirondacks. They were awesome. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
When I saw the giant sequoias in California, and I drove a car through them, right through the tree,
Mhm.
because they had cut it out,
Yeah.
and you were able to draw the road went through the tree.
That's
And it
cool.
was free on both sides of you. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Everything, God created a wonderful world.
Yeah. What did you think of?
Mankind's the only one that ruins it.
Yeah. What did you think of Europe? You guys saw a lot of places there. Yeah. Do you like Europe too?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you were mentioning so like the Grand Canyon and stuff, but you guys saw like a lot of countries in Europe. Did you like them too?
No, I think the only thing that keeps you going is you're always, at the end of the tunnel, you're always looking at the idea that just maybe you would be able to have a lot of extra money, you win the lotto like some people do, and you'd be able to do things and freely be able to give help to somebody else. And there's a lot of things out there that if you won the lotto, that they're going to be there to try to get money from you, but you have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
You know, the right ones that are really going to make something out of the money.
Yeah.
Like unwed mothers and so on and so forth. If they were making a house and you gave a contribution to that to help them.
Mhm.
You can't pay for it all, but you can give them a contribution. Those are the things that you always look for. There could be a dream waiting just over the hills.
Yeah. So would you say, like, you've traveled, done a lot of traveling, and done a lot of things? Would you?
That's 4 questions.
Well, yeah. I said, have you like done what? I'm sorry. What did you say?
You already asked. You already asked 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are 4 questions. You only had 2 of them. You said.
Well, I said I had a couple, like where you had traveled to, but then what went with that was, have you, like, you traveled to a lot of places and, like, seen and done a lot of things, but have you done everything that you wanted to do, or is there anything, like, any place you'd want to go still, or do anything that you can think of?
No. No, I would, and it's a lot of the places we've gone back to. Like when they moved Disney World to Florida, we went with our kids to the opening.
Mhm.
And we got to see it and go on the ride. And then they added more stuff. And probably about 3 or 4 years later, we had saved up enough money that we could afford to go back down again
Yeah.
and go to different things. So, I mean, those are things that we did more than once.
Yeah.
Just like going to the ocean and spending a week
Yeah.
in Kittery or Portland or so on and so forth.
Mhm.
We did all them, and we just did a lot of things in our life.
Yep. So there'd be no place that, like, I don't know, that if you get to pick one place that you haven't been to or you have been to, there's no place that you would, if you could, still go to and visit?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
I don't think about it.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think about it. In other words, I always wanted to go to Hawaii,
Mhm.
and I got to go to Hawaii,
Yep.
and you got to go to Hawaii,
Yeah, that was pretty lucky. Mhm.
and you didn't have to wait 25 years.
Right, and yeah.
and we got to stay a month each time we went.
Yeah.
So, and then we went to Hawaii 3 times. We went to all the islands.
Mhm.
Hawaii and Oahu and Maui and so on, and up to the volcanoes. And then and I was spending 3 weeks in Hawaii
Yeah.
the first time we went. And then we had that option where your mother and father knew the woman that had the condo. We got a break on that.
Yeah.
You guys came over for 2 weeks. And then we stayed for 2 weeks more.
Mhm.
And then the last time we went, we spent a month on Maui. That's 4 weeks there.
Yep.
And we hadn't been to the big island of Hawaii itself.
Mhm.
So we flew while we were already there at Maui. We flew to Hawaii.
Yep.
Spent a week over there. So we spent 5 weeks that time.
Yep. So you got to see
We've done
do
a
a lot.
lot more than most people.
Yeah. Last question, I promise. It's got 2 parts. Is that, do you have anything that you live by, like any like quotes or any mottos, or just that basically you just do the best that you can with what you have, like you said?
Well, like I said, I could think of the things I would have liked. I would have liked to have been able to go to the goal and become a pilot and go maybe be a pilot in a commercial airline. A lot of things, but those were out of my reach.
Yeah.
Those were things that I thought about
Mhm.
that I would like to do, and I never got to do them. So I just said again.
Yeah. So do you have any advice or anything for other people on how to live their lives? Like, I mean, obviously you've been around for a while and you've, like, I don't know, seen a lot of things, done a lot of things. Would you have any advice for
The only thing I can tell you is the same thing that when I talk to our own children,
Mm-hmm.
I turn around and when I was talking one-on-one, not as a group.
Yeah.
And like I said, well, if you want to do something, you think you'd like to see the world, you'd like to see a lot of different things, and I to both Michelle and Renee, I said, and set a goal, like you'd like to be a stewardess. Set goals for your life, what you'd like to do.
Yeah.
And you may not be able to do them all. You know, life will give you different things.
Yeah.
Or you get sick, or like, you know, so on.
Yep.
But then you enjoy what you get out of it. And just like today.
Yep.
Today was a good day.
Yeah.
Because Nana had to have her mammogram. From her cancer. She had before the operation for the cancer, right?
Yep.
Breast cancer. And we went down, and each year she goes, and they do, you know, a series of pictures and so on her breasts and so on. And there was no cancer was showing.
That's good.
So it was a good day.
Yep. So basically, like,
And with that, we will turn around and we'll call it an evening.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, but you were just saying that, like,
I said okay.
what?
I said we're going to call it an evening.
Well, yeah, I was just saying with the mammogram thing, you were saying that even though it wasn't necessarily the best thing ever, but, like, I don't know, you take what's good out of it, right, is what you were saying?
Well, that's not what I'm saying. Because when I turned around and said that, somebody said, okay. And it wasn't you. It was a male voice.
What?
It was a man's voice that said, okay.
That's really weird. I must be, I don't know.
It's either that or you got messages that are still rolling around.
Oh, no. No, I mean, I might need to look into getting a new phone because I dropped it on the floor and it seems to be working not as good as it should, but I don't know. It seems to be making noises for everybody, so I'm not really sure there, so.
I just think that, I think you have enough to be able to satisfy your teacher. And you can embellish on that yourself.
Yeah.
By paragraphing it. When I used to write reports.
Yeah.
And stuff, I would paragraph it on an outline. So that I could turn around. And then I would leave enough space on both sides so I could add to that paragraph.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? In other words, I would write about this and just kind of pencil it in with a pencil, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why they made a pencil with an eraser.
Yeah.
So that you could rub it out and turn around, just like my drawing. You draw right or turn around and my pencil in the air pocket. Well, now that you've got that there, that's the format that you're going to go by, and it's going to constantly relate to all the questions that you had or wherever you got them from, or the teacher or whatever.
Yeah.
And well, these are some of the answers I got. And I think then you turn around and you inject yourself into it.
Yep.
You say, I think that he would have done this or he would have liked that. I would have pursued one avenue. I would have pursued hypnosis. Because I taught my brother how to do the hypnosis.
Yeah.
But Marilyn didn't want me to do the hypnosis.
Right.
So, but I think I could have done good. The people that I did help with the hypnosis, and the doctors and some of the dentists, they were using ultrasound to finish the pain for people drilling their teeth.
Yeah.
And I taught some of them how to use hypnosis, where they could turn around and give them a keyword while they're under hypnosis, and then be able to think. I think, and I go back before Kreskin.
Yeah.
And the rest. And they still use the hypnosis in the diving champs for the Olympics. And stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
To give you the concentration. It doesn't make you any better diver, but it allows you to not be worried about the audience or people that are photographing you and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And Kreskin still is a hypnotist, or he was, for them. So, we'll call it a night.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, but thank you. you for answering all my questions. I know I had a lot, but I think I do have, a good amount to work with. So.
If you've been taking any notes, you ought to have a lot to work with.
Well, yep, I've been taking some notes.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you. Is Nana there? Can I talk to her for a sec?
Bye. I love you.